Hi guys, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to post this video on the front page of my YouTube channel. This is an important video. Please stay to the end if you really want to understand manifestation and how to manifest whatever you want. This is something that I haven't seen taught anywhere, and it's for good reason. I'm actually going to do a LinkedIn live later this week about this subject. And so this is an early video for any of you who probably can't make it to the LinkedIn live. This is probably, as far as to living a life of truth and freedom, you're never going to find this anywhere else. It's not easy. That's why Jesus said the path is so narrow. So I guess we can start with, and I thought about this, and I always kind of knew this intuitively, but I didn't exactly know why until very recently, that the Fool card is the zero card in the tarot deck. So the Fool card is it encapsulates all the other cards in the deck, right? I think there's 76 cards. And the second card in the deck, or the number one card, is the Magician. So if you master the Magician card, you can master all the other cards in the deck: the Emperor, the Empress, the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. Actually, the Ace of Swords is the potential for truth, but you don't really get to the ultimate truth unless you're following the Fool card. And I'm going to explain how that works. So, and it's a never-ending growth process. If you look at the Fool card, he's and I wrote something about this on the Fool last year, but the Fool is clothed in tattered garments. And these images that I'm talking about they were given to a woman in the middle 18th century. I can't remember her name, Catherine something, but Rider Waite owns the rights to those images. And so all those images that you see on the Rider Waite tarot deck were done by a clairvoyant. She actually made those images in the mid 1800s. I can't remember her name. You can read her name. It's on the side of a Rider Waite tarot deck. I don't have one with me. Anyway, the Fool is standing there with tattered garments. They are covered in growth. There's growing things, but they're tattered, right? Because it's hard to grow, if that makes sense. It's not easy to just keep growing, growing, growing. And the Fool is taking a leap of faith with a white rose in his left hand, or her left hand. It's like kind of a sexless image on there. It could be a man or a woman, you can't really tell. With a little dog standing next to him or her, and the sun right behind it. He's taking a leap of faith. And so all those images kind of come into play as far as what the Fool is doing. The white rose is a symbol of the purity of his heart, or her heart, so that you're in a state of unconditional love for everything around you, and you're constantly taking a leap of faith into the unknown. So why is that card more powerful than the Magician card? Well, I'll tell you why. The world around you is an extension of you, right? There isn't anything that's, if you watch the rest of my videos, I encourage you to watch my state reality videos, you're just an awareness in a giant field of awareness. Every point in time space is the center of an awareness if you look at it closely enough or zoom out far enough, right? When you zoom out far enough, you're looking at the center of awareness in the Milky Way galaxy. The center of the Milky Way galaxy is a point of awareness. And then you start looking in your body, you find cells where our awareness is. And if you look from closer than that, you see atoms, but they're moving so quickly. Comparatively to you, they're moving 100 trillion times faster. So they just like fuzzy balls, right? But it's still an awareness. It's a conductor moving energy and information, which is all what an awareness is. And the more complicated that awareness, the more energy and information it moves. So in order to move more energy and information, you're growing in your awareness. And in order to do that, you have to keep growing. And so you increase your resonance. And there's a lot of understanding in the spiritual community and the world at large that increasing your resonance will increase your manifestation powers, which is true. But everything depends on what you're trying to manifest. So if you're trying to pull energy from other people, your manifestations are going to induce karma, right? Because you're always in a karmic cycle. So if you're feeding off of your environment, then you're pulling yourself into a karmic cycle, an energy exchange with your environment. Now, you don't have to do that. The fool is serving the world. He's constantly taking leaps of faith. Now, in order to take a leap of faith, it means that you're not pulling energy from your environment. In other words, you have faith that your needs will be met. Now, in order to do that, and serve the people around you, it means that you have to do that for no money. Because when you say, I need this in order to serve you, you are saying that that money is your source instead of saying that you are the source, if that makes sense. If I am the source, and this goes back to the story of Moses, right? I mean, you can think of this in every part of the Bible, and that story is being retold over and over and over in different ways. The Moses story is one of the most obvious ones, where he comes down the mountain after fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, which is a clue. And he comes down and he breaks the stone tablets because he sees the people that he just pulled out of Egypt, that old system, were worshiping the golden calf. And so they moved into the desert, where manna rained down from heaven, even though they were in a desert. The fact of the reality is as long as you treat yourself as the source, you will constantly keep taking leaps of faith. You'll start getting synchronicities that things that you are creating your reality. But it takes a long time to raise your resonance that way, because getting over the negativity and the fear of not having enough money takes a long time. But this process starts. So it forces you to grow, because when you're serving other people, you're trying, if you're not getting a positive response from those people, then you're not going to get anything in return, right? Now, this could be money, this could be anything. But if you're not asking for money up front, if that makes sense, like if you have your own business, or if you're not just going to a job where you're just making straight money, then you don't have any income. So the only way for you to be effective in your atmosphere is to make sure that you're providing positive energy into your environment, and you're staying in that state of unconditional love for everything around you. Now, there'll be a lot of people that will fall out of resonance, and it'll be very difficult to make sure that you're staying in unconditional love, because people will attack you for different reasons. And the universe will keep testing you to see what you do to make sure that you're staying in unconditional love for those people. But as long as you keep that state of mind and you keep your meditative state, now you're becoming a conductor, and now you're able to listen to what other people need much more effectively. And so you're falling into deeper and deeper states of awareness, where your feminine energy, which comes first, is able to dictate how you are providing for other people, your masculine energy. And if you just stay in that state of your feminine energy receiving how you need to provide, then you don't really need to create an energy exchange with whoever you're providing for, because you are the source. You're manifesting whatever you desire, because you have aligned yourself with source, right? If you say that your source is something out there, you haven't aligned yourself with source. You're worshiping something out there instead of creating that self-worth. So this process takes a while, and your self-worth will increase dramatically if you go through this process. I guarantee you. It's a very difficult process to go through. Not asking for money, do something for somebody, right? Because you do it out of love, for love or money. If I do something for you, I do it because I love you, right? Or you ask something. Now, if you decide you want to give me something in return, I am openly accepting to receive, just like for this channel. If you find this information helpful, I am openly open to receive, but I don't demand it, right? Because I love you. And so when you look at the world that way and you realize that you are the source and that your dreams can become reality, all you have to do is go out to the world and serve it. You will become more sensitive. For one thing, you'll become a lot more sensitive to the energies around you because you'll have to be, because everybody's at a different level and everybody needs something different. And so you have to stay in a meditative state to make sure that you're staying as a conductor to whatever that person needs, or even a business and what the business needs. Hard process, right? Stay as the fool. And so eventually, you're actually energetically fasting that way. So if you're staying as the fool, you're always staying as the fool. And you're just open to receiving whenever you need, you're never demanding it, and you have faith, your faith will become stronger than anything. And you'll start to understand, see, the energy that you put out there is what you receive. And so if you're always a conductor for what other people around you need, you'll start to heal the people around you in an ever grading circle. And you'll raise the awareness of everybody around you. Because now if you're pulling from in means of money, then it won't work that way, right? Because you're feeding off them, they're feeding off you. And you're just creating you're each other's source. But if you go like this and you don't do it for money and you have faith that your needs are being met, now you become aligned with source. And now you become a conductor for what everybody around you needs at different times, because all of us need something different at different times. And when you learn to balance your feminine and masculine energy on a day-to-day basis and put yourself in a higher energetic state on a day-to-day basis, you get up at the same time every morning, do your exercises, do your meditation exercises, and then listen that day and listen to what is needed that day. For this week, this is the message that's this needed. And so continue to, as together, we continue to grow that way. All of a sudden, we're going to start manifesting our reality much more quickly, and just out of our intent. You're not controlling. The outside world is controlling how how you need to respond to it, how you need to serve it. All you have to do is create your intent, and the universe responds to your needs because you're aligned with source. So this is a very powerful message, and it can be a very hard message to hear, especially if you are in a something that you are constantly, pulling energy and information from your environment. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and stop selling whatever product you're selling or just change your way of business. Just think about what I had to say and maybe take increments in your life and think about how you can serve and create positive change in the people around you. Because you're doing that, you're trying to do that with your family anyway, right? You don't charge your family money, but the reality is that we're all family. And when we look at each other that way, and we start to operate that way, then that old Babylonian money system that has been inactive for so long will slowly start to go away. And your needs will always be met because your faith will, and it has to, because you are a closed circuit. You're a closed energetic circuit. So the energy that you put out there, you will get back. You'll always be supported. And so it won't matter what inflation looks like or how, the money could go away tomorrow and you will be perfectly okay. So love you guys. Think about that for a while, how to create the life that you deserve. Very difficult path, but you can do it. Love you.